Good evening, YouTube, and welcome back to another edition of Paisano's Music and Vinyl Talk. Tonight we're going to talk about a movement in music that reared its head in the late 60s and early 70s, became known as Southern Rock. And in my opinion, the greatest of the Southern Rock bands was undoubtedly the Allman Brothers Band. Formed in 1969, they would spawn a bunch of imitators. Some of them pretty damn good in their own right, but the individual talent in the Allman Brothers just had it all over. The Leonard Skinnards, the Marshall Tucker Band, the Outlaws, the Charlie Daniels Band. Some of the lesser known ones, the Atlanta Rhythm Section, Dixie Dregs. Yeah, there were some good bands, no doubt, but none greater in my opinion. And their fourth studio album was called Eat a Peach, and it was a double album. And three of the sides featured Duane Allman, who died in 1971 from a heroin overdose. A lot of this was recorded while he was still alive, and there's some bunch of live cuts on here left over from the Fillmore Reese show that appeared in the year before, an entirely live album called At Fillmore Reese. Tremendous live album, considered one of the greatest live albums ever. And there's a few live cuts on here featuring Duane on slide guitar and just, guitar in general. I mean, Duane Allman, let me tell you something about him, folks. He probably had the sweetest, pure Les Paul sound I have ever heard in my life. He was just an incredible talent. And his partner in guitar duties in the Allman Brothers, Dickie Betts, was no slouch either. Dickie had a real rockin' style, but Duane's tone was just sweet. That's the only word I can think of to describe his tone. It was unlike any other Les Paul tone I have ever heard. Fantastic guitar player. And his brother Greg on keyboards, and he sang most of the songs. Greg did. Very talented keyboard player. They had two drummers, Butch Trucks and Johnny Jonasson. And their bassist, one of the greatest bassists ever, Barry Oakley, who was to die in a motorcycle accident not long after Duane passed, unfortunately. This was his last record with the band. And this features three sides with Duane Allman and one side without him. And the side without him is side one. Begins with Ain't Wasting Time No More. Song you still hear on the radio. Libre in A minor. That's a great instrumental. Used to play that on the radio in the old days. And Melissa, which is still heard every day on the classic rock stations. Great tune. Side 2 and side 4 of this album. It's a double album. This is a reissue from the mid-'80s, I believe. This does not have the gatefold sleeve. It's a single sleeve with two records stuffed in there. But side 2 and side 4 are a live take on Mountain Jam by Donovan. Donovan had a song called Mountain Jam. Donovan was a folk artist in the 60s. And the melody that Duane and Dickie Betts play is based around his song. And then they take off and just improvise the hell out of it. And like I said, it takes up two full sides of this double album. Side 3 is One Way Out. My favorite Allman Brothers song, Trouble No More, featuring phenomenal slide work by Duane. Stand Back, Blue Sky, which once again has just shows the tone. Him and Dickie Betts both share the solo on this song. Blue Sky, written for Dickie Betts' girlfriend, who we nicknamed Blue Sky. But Duane plays the first half and Dickie plays the second half. And just a phenomenal song. And side 3 finishes with an acoustic instrumental by Duane Allman called Little Martha. What a record. What a record. I could listen to this over and over, and I listened to it quite a bit. The record hasn't been played since I turned it into an MP3 with my MP3 record player. Did it back in 2016. Preserving the vinyl. Yeah, like I said, this came out in 1972. Fantastic record. Dedicated to Duane Allman. Produced by Tom Dowd. Yeah, Allman Brothers, the greatest Southern rock band, without question. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, if you're enjoying our discussions, please like and subscribe. Good night, YouTube. See you next week.